Good afternoon. Assuming you put the clocks forward, that is. Hope you did, because it's Derby Day in Edinburgh and the battle lines have been drawn ahead of this one. Hearts have been somewhat kings of the castle in recent years, but Hibs can change all that today. They are planning a relegation party, and my word, that would hurt the Jambos. But even in adversity, the boys in maroon remain defiant.
If defeat comes, we will stare it in the face. If relegation beckons, we will rebuild. Our youth and ambition will become our strength, while our bitter rivals may wield the hammer blow across the city. But they should know that Hearts will not allow their capital fate to be sealed in this derby. Hearts are broken. The heart is being ripped out of Gorgie. But we'll simply not lie down and accept it. We never have. We never will. Plan your party, Hibernian, and we will plan our dignified return, and we will do it with grace and courage. The Heart of Midlothian Football Club has encountered many challenges since 1874, and we will encounter more, but we will not be defeated.
It's just under 4 miles from Easter Road in Leith to Tynecastle in Gorgie, past Holyrood and the castle along the way. This is the second derby here this season. Hearts won the first way back in August, 1-0. They say the table doesn't lie. Well, even without the 15-point deduction, Hearts would be rock bottom. Worse still, St Mirren's draw in Inverness yesterday means the Jambos will be relegated today if they lose. Hibs, though, are not out of trouble yet either. They now sit just 6 points off the relegation playoff position. The 4 teams below them picked up points yesterday. Defeat here and they really will be dragged into the mire. All the goals from yesterday are on the way shortly. And I should say, happy Mother's Day to anyone out there celebrating that. No doubt, though, the significance of this derby right now. It is absolutely massive. So we should start with the team news. Derek Ray, Gary McAllister here as always. Hibs have made a few changes.
They have 6 to be exact, Darryl. I'm not sure that we saw that one coming. Let's start though by talking about Heart of Midlothian. One switch from the side that we saw face Dundee United in the Friday night game last week. Jason Holt is back. He hasn't started a game since November. He's been struggling with a metatarsal injury. Scott Robinson out. But as you said, 6 changes for Hibernian. Williams, Maybury, Alan Maybury at 35, who hasn't featured in his last 8 starting this game. Duncan Watmore, Lewis Stevenson, Danny Handling, James Collins, they're the 6 who've come in. Murdoch, Boateng, Liam Craig, Kevin Thompson, Paul Heffernan and the suspended Danny Haynes out from the side that, quite simply, Darryl, didn't turn up in the last match against St Johnstone.
Liam Craig, the captain, out. Maybe a big surprise there. No doubt, though, for Hearts, this is a massive, massive battle today, but the biggest battle continues off the pitch. Lithuania, another meeting passed without effect on Friday. There's more meetings to come, apparently. Yes. April 7th is another date, we're told. But this is getting more worrying by the week, isn't it, Gary?
Absolutely, and each time there is a delay, it's more worrying because people at the football club, the management, the staff, they want to prepare, they want to look forward. Recruitment, players are out of contract. Where are they going to be playing next pre-season? They need to organise all these trips. So it's the sooner the better, you know. And the people you feel for the most are the paying public. They want to go on their summer holidays knowing that they're going to come back to a solvent club with new investment.
And it looks as if it might even be May before any transfers of shares finally happen now. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. I got a feeling this is going to be good today. Enjoy the match. OK, to our next 2 guests. And I'm going to just skirt round behind the goal here because Jamie McDonald is taking some practice and a few shots flying past us right now. But we're on the pitch, a pitch where so many great derbies have been played, and we're with 2 men now who have played in many of them. 41 between Darren Jackson and Paul Hartley, both represented Hearts and Hibs. Gents, let's take a little walk. Darren, this is quite incredible circumstances now. That draw by St Mirren yesterday means this could be fiery today. Hibs could put Hearts down.
It will be fiery, yeah, and that's one thing. Hearts obviously know they'll go down, but they don't want their rivals putting them down, and I'm sure that will add a little bit extra to the Hearts players today.
It certainly will, and there's talk of payback for that 5-1 cup defeat, isn't there, Paul?
Sure is. It's a massive game for both clubs. Hearts desperate to win it. They don't want to get relegated against their bitter rivals, but Hibs need to win the game also. They don't want to get sucked into that playoff position. You know, they're looking over their shoulder just now. And it's a must-win game for them also. They're on a bad run of form. I think 1 win in 12 games, so they'll be looking to win this game also.
That is the thing we can't forget here. I mean, Hibs now find themselves 6 points off that playoff position. Kilmarnock right up behind them now. This is enormous for Terry Butcher today.
It's massive, yeah, and with the results yesterday, they have been sucked into it. And when you're on a losing run like that, sometimes you can't see light at the end of the tunnel. So, but you've just got to grind out a result, and today's a massive result for them to grind it out.
It certainly is, and surely not a top flight without both of the Edinburgh clubs. Come and join us at the desk. You'll see Stephen Craigan is here. We'll come back to the derby and we'll have lots more build up on that to come. But first of all, let's just recap all the Scottish Premiership action from yesterday, and we'll start at Celtic Park. It was Celtic against Ross County. We've got, of course, two former Celtic players here as well, and this was not exactly what Celtic expected from the start. Melvin DeLeeuw scoring here.
No, it wasn't. Listen, it was a great start for Ross County. You know, we've seen them during the week against Aberdeen, and I think they've improved dramatically. I think DeLeeuw has been a key figure for them, getting another crucial goal, someone who wants to take the game to the opposition. But you know, we spoke about over the last couple of weeks about Mark Brown and some of the mistakes he's been making, Dal, and unfortunately for me, I think he's culpable yesterday, you know, for throwing one out. Lee's in there, but you know, if Ross County leave there with a point, they'll be absolutely delighted.
Slightly tainted the celebrations afterwards, but Celtic did get the point. But still, it's the end of a fantastic season really for them domestically, isn't it, in the league, Darren?
Of course it is, yeah. I mean, they'll be disappointed they didn't win yesterday. I think Lenny had said he was wanting to go for the 103 points, so he'll be disappointed with that, but they've done the business and exceptionally well. Records are important, of course, for Neil Lennon this season. That's what they're shooting for.
Yeah, they've had a great season. You know, deserved to win the league. They're, I think, 20 odd points ahead, so brilliant season. Unfortunate yesterday, but it's a great point for Ross County going away to Celtic Park.
It was indeed vital point for them. Right, to your team, Dundee United yesterday. It was a real tussle against Aberdeen. It ended up 1-1 there, but tremendous game.
It was an excellent game. A draw was a fair result. I thought we started very well the first half hour of the game. Great goal for Paul Payton, passing it into the net there. The celebrations were good as well. And then the second half, Aberdeen coming to it. Obviously, from our point of view, it's a poor goal. Letting Barry get the cross in and McGinn come across the defender, but it was a fantastic game, a great advert for Scottish football.
Barry Robson seems still to be very influential for Aberdeen.
He was very influential in the second half, and he gets a few crosses into the box, a few shots in goal, but as I say, overall the whole game we were very good. Jamie Langfield's had an absolute wonder save off John Rankin. But a draw was a fair result.
To Fir Park now then, Motherwell, Kilmarnock, your old team, and I don't think many people saw this scoreline coming, Stephen.
No, they didn't. I was actually at Fir Park yesterday, and I think, you know, for long spells in the first half, Motherwell dictated and dominated. You know, they had lots of the ball without really threatening Craig Samson's goal. And when the goal came, I thought it was deserved. You know, I thought they were edging the game at that stage, but you know, second half, Kilmarnock came out. They were on the front foot a little bit more. They took the game to Motherwell a bit more, and I think then, you know, when their goal came, it was deserved because they had a few chances, they had a few shots, they passed the ball well. I actually left with 5 minutes to go thinking it was going to be a 1-1 draw.
How dare you?
Well,
Rory McKenzie scoring there, then Craig Slater wins it.
And I think Stuart McCall will be so disappointed because, you know, when you concede a goal in the 95th minute, there's no way back. It feels a lot worse. If you concede after 70, you get a chance to get back in the game at 95 minutes. I think it was a bit of a hammer blow for them.
It seemed to kind of go over Gunnar Nielsen's hand as well there, the winning goal. I don't know if it was deflected.
Yeah, I don't think it was deflected. I think it's just hit a bobble right in front of him. Now, if it's your own keeper, you're disappointed, but I think he was a little bit unlucky there.
A wee bit unlucky maybe. And a big game now, significant to today, of course. St Mirren got the point up in Inverness, which means Hibs can relegate Hearts. And it was 2-2 in the end, but St Mirren made a really good start, and they're desperate for every point they can get, Paul.
Great finish here for Naismith. It's a great result going away to Inverness. It's a hard place to go and get a result. It's a good point for them. Both teams have been struggling of late in the league, so probably 2-2 was a fair result.
Own goal there.
It is Darren McGregor. You know, a little bit unfortunate. I think Ross Draper was trying to claim it, but you know, when Inverness went 2-1 up, you just thought they would have enough to go on and win the game. St Mirren, I think 7 defeats in the last 9 they've had. They're under a little bit of pressure. They're still in that 11th spot, but I suppose in the end, a little bit of relief. You know, they got themselves back in the game. They left with a point, but I think over the peaks, Danny Lennon knows that, you know, draws won't be enough for them. They have to start winning games.
Maybe they could have left with more actually, because Josh Meekings gets sent off towards the end. Josh McGuinness was through on goal, but should this have been red for you, Darren?
Well, if it's against you, I think Shinnie's getting back in there. I don't know if it is a red card, but if I'm looking for the centre half to be sent off, but I think Shinnie's getting back in.
I think Shinnie has just done enough there to be on the cover to get round there and maybe stop the goal scoring opportunity, so I think it may be a bit harsh on him there.
OK, St Johnstone, Partick Thistle, next game at McDermott Park. St Johnstone are not too bad a run, took the lead, a man you know well, of course, Stevie May scoring again, Paul.
He's had a fantastic season, Stevie. I think that's his 21st, 22nd goal of the season. He just seems to get better and better by each week, so you know, he's doing very well.
but this was late. Chris Doolan.
It was. Chris Doolan's actually started the last few games, but didn't start yesterday, came off the bench, and I think it's his first goal in 15 games. So, huge relief for him to get the goal, a huge relief for Partick Thistle. They're still in touch. They want to stay up like the rest of them do, but going away, that could be the crucial point in the end.
A big day for all those teams in the bottom half.
Well, it was. Well, it's Neil drew. There was nobody lost any ground, so it keeps. Well, obviously come on at one, they're the only ones, but the rest drew, so that keeps it all. It's all going to go to the last day. It's going to be lots of pressure. It's going to be exciting. We speak about excitement in Scottish football. It's going to be exciting, but I wouldn't fancy being one of those teams.
It's going to be exciting here. You can see Hearts right behind us out to warm up. It's going to be very nervy for everyone involved. An absolutely enormous day for all the fans here. Hearts are just dreading the scenario that Hibs could put them down. Coming up, much more on the derby. We'll be looking at some of the classic encounters down the years and reminiscing with the boys as well. We'll see you shortly. Coming up on ESPN tonight at 8 p.m, IndyCar opening Grand Prix of the 2014 season, and that is live from St Petersburg. Now, it's really hard to put into words exactly what it means to be a Hearts or a Hibs fan, but it's fair to say that once you're in it, as you can see, you're in it for life.
Derby matches make me even more excited. Build-up starts during the week and comes to a crescendo when on match day, and then a football match breaks out.
They're great games to play, and you can certainly sense in Derby week that the players have got an extra swing in their step. Everywhere they go, there's obviously fans talking to them about the game.
The fans look forward to derby matches because there's nothing better than having the bragging rights against your workmates or the guys in the pub, because it's the highlight almost of some guy's season. If there's a derby match, that's what they live for it. Win, lose or draw. You wake up in the morning of the derby and you think, first scarf I see today, if it's a green one, you're going to win. The superstition kicks in as well. I was lucky to be at the 7-0 match. My brother and I went. It's still to this day the best moment ever in a derby match.
Well, it means everything to an Edinburgh lad. Coming to derbies for over 40 years, seen some fantastic games, especially the 5-1, the cup final. We'll never ever forget that. The 4-4 game, I think, was one of the most amazing games I've ever seen here. To be trailing 4-2 going into injury time, and I remember my mate saying to me, "We're beat now." I said, "Well, it looks like it." And then within 44 seconds, we've scored 2 goals, and the roof literally came off the place. It was absolutely incredible. That is a really big highlight.
Playing the Hibs Hearts derby, it was an electric atmosphere, and it was a game that you really love to play in. I'd like to have won more, but the fact that I took part and I was involved in these games it's great memories. It's a massive game for Hibs to get a result, just to make sure that they're not getting involved in the relegation playoff, because they're on the results are proving that they could easily be sucked into that relegation fight for the playoffs. So it's a massive game for Hibs to win, and also disappointing for Hearts, but they'll just need to rebuild and make sure they can come back up in a season.
My name's Ewan and I'm a Jambo. My name's Kyle and I'm a Hibs fan. I'm a Hearts fan because all of my family supported them and I love going to the games. I support Hibs. My favourite player is Paul Hanlon. I think he's great. I think Hearts are going to stuff Hibs on Sunday. Not a chance. Hibs will win every day.
Mine will be my first derby I went to, and it was Hearts 0, Hibs 7. I'll never get it. And then another derby at Easter Road, and we won 6-2. I've been smiling for 40 years, and I'll never take that smile off my face. Tynecastle and Easter Road, the atmospheres, the East Terrace and up at Tynecastle, you always get great atmospheres. We all look forward to them, and you never want to miss them.
In modern times, to score 27 goals against Hibs was tremendous. And from being an Edinburgh boy, it was great, tremendous pleasure for it. My father was a Hearts man, and one of his favourite players was Willie Ball, so just to go past him was a tremendous feeling, and to do it at Easter Road
as well on that particular day was fabulous. But 27 goals is great. The secret, or my way forward, was to try and remain as calm as possible on the build-up to it, and more importantly, in the game itself, was just focus. You know, as manager said before, become an assassin. Score the goal, just keep calm, cool, and when the time comes, hit the target. The first one was probably the best, believe it or not. It was one that I scored in the very first game way back in '83, but such was technology those days that was one cameraman and an old-fashioned Betamax video, and unfortunately that went on fire after about 50 minutes, so they never got any of the goals at all. It's an incredible story, but that's what actually happens.
I don't think I'll miss an Edinburgh derby for 1 year. If it's going to be a long-term thing, which it might be with Rangers coming up through the league, I think after a few years, you'd miss the excitement, the adrenaline. There's no fixture like it for Hibs fans, and it's just, you just don't get as excited about other games. But for 1 year, it'll be quite nice to have the sort of the bragging rights of being in the league above Hearts, knowing that we are superior to them for the time being. And I don't think we'll miss it too much for a year or so.
Obviously, losing the derby has got to be a massive thing for both for the city itself. But the Championship, as it's called now, I think it'll be a really good league. I mean, you've got Rangers in there, potentially Dunfermline, Falkirk, Raith Rovers. So it'll be quite a local theme to it, and we're looking forward to it.
And that is exactly what it means to everyone involved. There's the young Hearts team. Some of them have come through the youth system, so hopefully they have a grasp of the significance today. Hibs have made 6 changes, a much changed team. Paul Hartley and Darren Jackson are with me, Stephen Craigan as well. You two know exactly what it means to play in this. 25 derbies, 16 derbies. Have to say you did score 8 goals as well, so you'll be quite smug about that. But what does it really mean to be involved in these type of games, Paul, and what's it like to play in?
Well, they're great games, great atmosphere. They're very intense, the build-up, usually a week before. It's fiery, sometimes it's not great football, but they're wonderful games to be involved in, and they're even better when you win them.
What memories stand out for you?
Unfortunately, I don't have too many, but Hibs Hearts went on the 22 games unbeaten run. I mean, we actually stopped it here, Gordon Hunter, so that stands out. And we qualified for when I was at Hearts, we qualified for Europe here against Hibs. So 2 good memories.
And you were sent off once, I believe?
Yes, it was after the game. It was actually a tackle. I got booked for a tackle on Gary Locke, and then Tosh McKinlay came at me after the game. He was a good pal now, and Brian Hamilton tried to attack him, so I pulled him away and I got sent off after the game. So
I love it. You just said to me, it wasn't my fault. It's never your fault when you're sent off. We know all about the Hearts mismanagement story, but how surprised are you to see Hibs in the bottom 6 again, Stephen?
Well, I am, because when Terry took over, you know, they had a little bit of a renaissance and they actually touched the top 6 just after the new year. But I spoke to him during the week and he said, you know, since then results have gone downhill, performances haven't been very good. And trying to get consistency in team selection, he finds is key to him. You know, we see today 6 changes today from last week. He's still looking for his best team. Players aren't stepping up to the plate and doing the business week in, week out. They're doing it every now and again. They're making lots of mistakes, giving away silly goals. And also, you know, I think the lack of goal threat up front. James Collins is in to try and get goals today. If they could get goals, I think Hibs could do okay. But 29 league goals hasn't been enough.
That's Hibs. Hearts, we know, are in a very bad situation as well. Darren, how long do you think it's going to take them to rebuild now?
Well, it depends who they bring in. It depends who buys the club. It depends how much money they're going to invest. But if they can keep the nucleus of the youngsters here, I think they're excellent. I love actually coming to watch them at the games. We come and watch Hearts. I love their enthusiasm. They've got a lot of ability. I think they've been very unlucky this year that the boy Holt and Walker have been out injured, because I think they're 2 exceptional talent.
And Holt's back in, of course, today. Walker on the bench. We do have to mention, though, as well, that Championship, you know only too well, Paul, when Hearts do drop into that eventually, it's going to be awfully hard to get out of.
Tough league, very competitive. You know, there's three teams just now trying to get promoted. It's vital that, you know, for ourselves, we're trying to get into the Premiership. I think it's a rebuilding job for both teams. You know, with Terry taking over from Pat Fenlon, it's not his players, so I think it'll take to the summer. He brings his own players in. It'll be the same with Hearts also. It'll be a rebuilding job there.
There is that dread, isn't there? Everyone in the Championship, Stephen, knows they don't want to be there next season. I know you're desperate to come up this year because of the calibre of teams. Rangers coming up, Hearts probably coming down, maybe even Dunfermline too. Yeah. There's a whole host of big names there now.
In theory, for the young Hearts players, that they should be in a better place this time next year. You know, they've more top team experience, playing first team experience. They should be better players for it. But you suddenly drop into the Championship and it's full of experienced players. Even part-time players are super fit. You know, they look after themselves. They'll be hard to beat. They'll be resolute. So in theory it sounds good for the young players, but believe me, they'll find it really tough.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough for anyone involved in that next year, that is for sure. OK, coming up next, we'll hear from both of the managers. Gary Locke knows exactly what it means to play in this game and that Edinburgh rivalry. Terry Butcher tasted success in his first derby back in January. Can he do that again? We'll hear from them both next. On ESPN tomorrow from 6 p.m, it's opening day of the Major League Baseball season, and we've got 4 matches back to back, starting with the Cubs at the Pirates, followed by the Cardinals Reds, then the Rockies at the Marlins, and the Mariners Angels at 3 a.m. to round off those games. Massive derby to come, Hearts against Hibs. Team news headlines: one change for Hearts, in comes Jason Holt, first start since November, had his injury issues. Callum Patterson starts again, of course he got the winner in the last league derby here. In it right back again, we think too. Duncan Watmore plays, he's back from injury for Terry Butcher's side. Butcher saying he can make a big impact in the match. And James Collins starts up front as well, he scored in the January derby. Right, let's check in with Terry Butcher ahead of his first Tynecastle derby then. He's with Emma Dodds.
Terry, it's your first Edinburgh derby here, and should you get the win, it'll have an extra significance by relegating Hearts. How much is that in your mind, or are you just focusing on Hibs game?
Well, we haven't really talked about it, to be honest, and that's, you know, from the Hibs point of view, and a lot of the fans would say, well, that's all we've talked about all week, but we certainly haven't done that because we have to get the win first and then see what happens. But you know, we've put a lot of work into this week. We know how important it is, and you know what a tremendously big game it is for our fans. But for us, it's a chance to get back to winning ways and a chance to you know, have a real go and see where it takes us. But you know, we're looking forward to it very much. It's going to be a cracking atmosphere. Hopefully, a football match will break out as well.
You've made 6 changes from the side that lost to St Johnstone last week. What's the thinking behind such vast changes in your side?
Well, we lost last week. I don't like making a lot of changes, but we went for a different shape this week and compared to last week. And you know, we lost the game, and you know, I don't think we had a shot on target last week. So I think it speaks for itself.
Goals and clean sheets have been pretty hard to come by for both sides today. What do you think we should expect from this game?
Well, we generally score, but other teams generally score more than us. But I think it'll be very tight. I think, you know, there's a lot of pride at stake on both sides, and obviously with the spectre of relegation around Hearts, you know, they certainly don't want to lose today to go down. But you know, we've got everything to play for. We're you know, looking at you know, 7 matches left of our season, and we need points as well. We want to finish 7th and finish as high as we can. So. And that starts today.
We wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Hibs have only won one of their last 12 games now, and that bad run coincides with the last derby win. It's not been a great few months. Stephen Craigan has been mulling over their problems.
The Hibs fans will be arriving en masse to fill this end of Tynecastle as they hope to inflict more misery on their city rivals' hearts. However, underneath it all, they must be hugely disappointed at yet another bottom 6 finish. But not just that, more importantly, how disappointing they've been in the last couple of months, and how easy they've been to play against, but also how easy they've been to score against. I think we see here Steve McManus against recently at Easter Road. He's got far too much time in the ball, he's unopposed, it's just a simple 10-yard pass, it just splits the Hibs midfield. You see it there, all 4 Hibs midfield players taken out of the play. I think they've got to be narrow, they've got to be compact. Lionel Ainsworth then gets at Michael Nelson. Does Michael Nelson come tight, does he drop off? In the end he does neither, and it's a good comfortable finish by Ainsworth, but a poor goal from Hibs' point of view. This goal here against St Johnstone last Saturday will infuriate Terry Butcher. Daniel Boateng has to be more aggressive, he has to win the first header, he doesn't, the ball bounces, and look at this, you know, the disjointed back 4 of Hibs. The 2 centre halves are ahead of the full backs. That shouldn't be the case. There's lots of space in behind, it's just a simple ball. Boateng eventually gets himself back into a decent position, but then doesn't make a tackle, and unfortunately for Ryan McGivern, he ends up putting it into his own net. This was earlier in the season also against Hibs at Easter Road. Ryan McGivern, he has to be patient, he has to keep the ball, he doesn't. But let's be honest, Paul Payton just clips a 40-yard ball over the top. But from this position, Paul Hamlin should be okay. He should be able to clear it, but he's simply out-muscled. Nadir Chiefty then takes Michael Nelson on, slips it into the bottom corner. And I think overall, I just wonder today, the question will be, will the Hearts youngsters have enough to put the Hibs back 4 under pressure? We'll have to wait and see.
And that is a key question, Stephen. Terry Butcher's been very critical of his defence in recent weeks, in fact of the whole team at times, suggesting he'd effectively throw the kids in as well. He hasn't quite done that today. He's made lots of changes, and you can see from what Stephen was saying there, they've got their issues at the back.
They've got their issues at the back, yeah, and he keeps on chopping and changing it. They've got young kids in there, but it's just not been good enough, conceding sloppy goals. You see the one that Dun United scored. We scored against them. Shifty just brushed Hanlon off the ball and scores a great goal. But again, I think you've got the whole team. You've got to defend from the front. And the whole team's got to work hard for the defence, but some sloppy goals.
Yeah, Paul Hanlon's out today. Daniel Boateng played last week. He's been dropped. And look at that, Lee Griffiths, Celtic player, of course, now in the away end today. And would he not love a victory for Hibs? He certainly would. In fact, anyone associated with Hibs would love 3 points today, Paul.
Yeah, it's a massive game, and we know what can happen if Hibs win. Then they relegate their bitter rivals, Hearts. Just looking at Terry's team, he's not found his best team yet. He's chopped and changed every week, so they've not got any consistency. I think he'll wait till the summer and try and bring his own players in. The one thing that he had at Inverness, they were hard to beat. They're a difficult opposition to play against. He's not quite found that at Hibs yet.
Who can spark this derby then for him? I mean, Duncan Watmore's in today. Sam Stanton's been quite impressive.
Well, I've not seen Duncan Watmore, so I've heard he's very good. Sam Stanton, I think, is the one that they'll be looking for to produce a little bit magic. But I think just going back to Lee Griffiths here, I think that's your problem. Hibs weren't fantastic last year, but I think they've scored 37 goals this year. He scored 28 on his own last year. So if you've not got someone that's going to put the ball in the net, you're always going to have problems.
Boos behind us there, not surprised, but a lot of ovation from the Hearts fans as well. We're going to have a lot more of this today. Let's check in with the Hearts manager now, Gary Locke, ahead of kick-off. He's also with Emma.
Gary, another big derby day for you. We heard a lot of positive shouts from your players as they went out to warm up there. What have you said to them ahead of this one?
Yeah, just to go out and play the game, know the occasion, make sure that we turn up on the day, and if we do that, hopefully we can get 3 points.
The scenario you didn't want to happen can happen with defeat today. Is that something that you have to put to the back of the minds of the players during the game?
Yeah, without a doubt, it's not something that we've thought about. We've got a good record in derby games, so we want to try and keep that going. Obviously, last time out, Hibs beat us, so it'd be nice to turn the table this time round.
Despite the age of some of the youngsters in your side, they do know what this derby means. They've come through the ranks. Is that a big asset for Hearts today?
Yeah, I think it is. I think everybody at the football club, especially the dressing room now, maybe couldn't be said about the dressing rooms of the past, but certainly it's all kind of local lads, so they know what's at stake, and for the backing that we've had for our supporters all season, it would be great to get a win for them.
And squad-wise, you haven't always had options this season, but you've got a couple of guys coming back from injury. You start with Jason Holt today. How good is it to have a fully fit Jason back in the starting 11? Yeah,
it's great. It's been a big loss. He's a very talented young player, and obviously done his metatarsal, as did Jamie Walker. So the two of them had been doing well at the time. But over the course of the season, we have had 1 or 2 injuries. But it's great to get them back. It's obviously coming at the wrong time because we're coming towards the end of the season. But great to have these young lads back in the team. And as you say, it gives me a couple of options which I've probably never had most of the season.
We wish you the best of luck today, Gary. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
He's looking for derby heroes. There's one right there. Rudy Scatchell. Hearts fans will never forget the impact he had. 5-1 hero. They still love to see him here. What kind of team talk, Paul, do you think Gary Locke will have to deliver to that young team today?
I don't think he'll say too much today. I think they know what's required. It's a derby game. They know they need to win the game. If they lose the game, they'll be relegated. I think the players will be fired up. They're fairly experienced now, the younger players. They've been playing all season. They've played in the derby games. I think they'll be right up for this game.
They've got the experience. Stephen Craigan, I should say, is back with us as well. But the young players in that Hearts system, they have come right through the system. So they will understand what this means. It's not like it's foreign players. They may be young, but they know this derby.
Yeah, well, they do. And, they know what it means to the club, and they know what it means to their family who may be Hearts supporters. But unfortunately for them, they've lacked quality throughout the season. Time and time again, they've given away silly goals. They've given themselves mountain to climb in games. It's been difficult for them. Can they raise it, and can they put in a really big performance today? I'm not so sure they can. I think Hibs will be, more up for the game. I think it means more for them. Hearts know they're going down simple, and I think Hibs will. I think Hibs will win comfortably.
And can actually Hearts prevent Hibs from scoring today? That's the question. Your Dundee United team came here last Friday, and you got one fantastic goal, of course, but some of the Hearts defending was criticised on that night as well.
But if you look at both teams just now, they're not scoring and they're conceding. So we're either going to get a 0-0 or a 4-all. And I hope it's a 4-all. But I would tend to disagree. I think the young kids, as I say, I've been here a few games to watch Hearts, and their enthusiasm, I think today they'll be well up for it.
Paul, the atmosphere is really building in here. You can sense something a little bit special.
Yeah, I think it's got the makings of a great game. I think Hearts will be right up for it. So will Hibs. They know they need to win the game also. They don't want to be sucked into that relegation battle, and it's got the makings of a cracking game.
Let's hope it is the 4-all draw, not the 0-0 you're suggesting.
Oh, we hope so. these guys are no better than me. That it'll be frantic, it'll be fiery, there'll be lots of tackles. The atmosphere will be terrific. The quality of football probably won't be great. And in most games, the first goal will be crucial. If Hibs can get it today, I'm a little bit concerned for the Hearts youngsters.
Right, this stadium really is filling up. In fact, we are approaching capacity. Hibs sold their away end out a long time ago, anticipating the big party. It's a big day for both teams, much more than just bragging rights at stake, that's for sure. It's been memorable in the past. Dramatic moments have marked this affair down the years.
This is Edinburgh. This is real football passion. Super goal for Hibernian. Hearts laughing from top to tail. It's Caldwell for Hibernian. Hearts hit the front of the derby. It's a penalty to Hibs. And it's gone in. Hearts are level. Hibs have the feel-good factor. Superb stuff from Callum Patterson. Liam Craig, the man inside Easter Road.
And one of Hearts' anthems bleeding out through the speakers all around us. Some atmosphere here with Paul Hartley, Darren Jackson and Stephen Craig in pitchside. Paul, it's hard to hear each other talk right now, actually. It's that kind of atmosphere today, but where's this game going to be won and lost?
I think the final third is always important. Hibs have sent an attacking line-up with Hanlon and Collins up front. Hearts defend well. I think the final third is always vital.
Are you surprised by that Hibs team selection?
Well, against us they didn't play that well, and obviously didn't play well, so Terry's just trying to get the right formula, and he's struggling just now, but hopefully he'll have it today.
Teams are almost ready to go. A quick thought, Stephen, for you. Who's going to win this game and how?
Well, listen, first goal is going to be crucial. I think what Guy Lockwood said to his young players is don't get bullied, don't be intimidated by the atmosphere, don't be intimidated by the opposition, just go and compete.
OK, let's get going. Over to Gary McAllister and Derek Ray.
Thank you very much, Darryl. It is one of the longest running rivalries in club football anywhere. Two Edinburgh teams founded in the middle part of the 1870s. The first derby was played a couple of miles away on the Meadows, now a large public park. That was back on Christmas Day 1875, the first of 628 meetings, including testimonials, friendlies and local cup competitions up until today. Hearts and Hibs, for all the fire and brimstone of a capital derby, are inextricably intertwined. It's a day for Edinburgh, a day for Old Reekie. Hearts have tweaked their lineup to allow Jason Holt to make his first start since November. Holt has appeared in 3 of the past 4 matches as a substitute. Scott Robinson drops out of the team that lost 2-1 to Dundee United. Jamie Walker is fit again and available to help out later. Confirmation that Hibs have made 6 changes to the side that lost 2-0 away to St Johnstone. Coming in, goalkeeper Ben Williams after the birth of his second son. Alan Maybury, the former Hearts defender. A fit again Duncan Watmore, plus Lewis Stevenson, Danny Handling and James Collins. Danny Haynes is suspended. Liam Craig and Kevin Thompson have to be content with places on the bench. Gary, how will this shape up tactically?
Well, Hearts will be 4-3-3, and I think key for me is to get the ball away from the hurly-burly of the middle of the pitch to the 2 ball players, Nicholson and Smith, on the wide areas. Hibs, on the other hand, will be 4-4-1-1. The big thing for me, they cannot allow Collins to be isolated, so Handling, Watmore, Stevenson and even Stanton getting forward to help.
Refereeing his second Edinburgh derby today will be Stephen McLean. Terry Butcher and Gary Locke, the 2 managers. Terry Butcher got off to a winning start in his first derby as Hibs boss back in January. Alec Maley in the 1921-22 season, the last Hibernian manager to win his first 2 derbies. And the atmosphere is absolutely electric. Hearts know what's at stake. They don't want to go down on the back of a Hibs derby victory. Every Hearts, Hibernian derby carries with it a compelling narrative. This is a new backdrop. Hibernian have the power to officially consign Heart of Midlothian to second tier football. Hearts, remember, need a draw or better to keep the Wolves away for a few days at least. Hibs are only 6 points clear of St Mirren, the current occupants of the playoff position. As Hibs try to knit a few passes together early on. Interesting that Alan Maybury is at right back, now 35. Has an excellent record in Edinburgh derbies. Well, Gary, it's your first capital derby, but you've played in quite a few tension-packed derbies in your time.
Yes, this feels exactly the same as some of the big derbies I've played in. The atmosphere's brilliant. Both sets of fans have been superb. You can feel the tension, and Hearts just don't want the unthinkable to happen, allowing Hibs to relegate them. They just do not want that. But it's about keeping a calm head. Like always in a derby, everybody will be highly motivated, but who can get their head up? Who can make that little through pass? Who can just produce a little spark?
Jamie McDonald between the posts for Hearts. Arguably Hearts' best player this season. Certainly one of their top performers. Callum Patterson. He might have got caught. There was Stevenson over there. Stephen McLean having to intervene.
Patterson just trying to chest it, just a little bit high by Stevenson, just catches up high up on the shoulder.
As said recently, Patterson, that he prefers to operate at right back. He scored the winner for Hearts in the August meeting of these two. Jamie Hamill stands over it for the Jambos. That run made by Danny Wilson. Paul Nelson had the measure of the situation. By Duncan Watmore, it's been lost into the spotlight. Forward to no one in particular. Sam Stanton. With a surname like Stanton, you would really have to play for Hibernian, wouldn't you?
It's just a name that always just reminds me of poise and class. Pat Stanton, the famous high beat. It's up to these youngsters just to get their foot in the ball. You mentioned Duncan Watmore. He's got the spark, he's got the ability. Can they show it in this big occasion?
Just about a sellout here at Tynecastle today. And of almost 17,000. Sam Nicholson, one of the bright youngsters for Hearts, who have emerged in this campaign. It will be a Hearts throw, and McCarthy responsible for it. Nicholson, a 19-year-old. Natural runner with the ball at his feet, Nicholson. Here it comes to Hamill. Experienced man in the Hearts midfield.
Good ball into feet there. Just needs to do a little bit better getting it under control with his first touch.
The form really goes out the window, doesn't it, when it comes to a capital derby. The other side playing particularly well in recent games. We've learned over the years, whether it's Tynecastle or Easter Road, to expect the unexpected. Danny Handling getting the call from Terry Butcher today. Lewis Stevenson there to attack it for Hibs, comfortable for McDonald.
I think you're spot on, Derek. I think it's a bonus that current form goes out the window because it's not so good.
Gary Locke, Hearts captain these days, the manager. Only get to manage in the Championship. When Hearts go down, it is ability that they will be playing in the Championship next season. Most people around here feel that Gary Locke deserves his chance to manage without shackles, if you like.
Well, he must be given a go. You know what he's had to go through this season. he must be applauded and he must be given a chance to take the club forward.
Jamie Hamill pondering this one. Swirling wind here at Tynecastle. It's been coming from the east, the coldest wind direction. I can vouch for that, having spent the last couple of days here in the capital. Bitterly cold. Chipped in by Hamill. Pick out the head of Patterson. Stevenson for Hibernian. More off on the left-hand side, but Hart's digging in. Patterson. Oh, and is this going to be an early goal for the Jumpers? It is! Unbelievable stuff! Dale Carrick, the 20-year-old, pouncing on it. Hesitancy from Hibernian. And Tynecastle turns maroon.
Oh, the place explodes. It's a beautifully worked goal. Some good combination play in the box. Patterson finds himself in loads of space on the right-hand side, vacated by Stevenson. Good ball into the back post area. He's onside. Nice little knockdown. Great first touch. And the finish is emphatic. This is a good ball in. Clever play by the two forwards there. That's a good finish. And this place has exploded. He's just onside.
Carrick scoring only his third goal of the season. What sort of response will that elicit from Hibernian? Stevenson over there, Collins in the middle. Really got going just yet, Hibs. Hearts with the lead. Dale Carrick giving it to them. Calm finish by Carrick. They're not calm. And Maybury. Header from Collins. Just going that little bit wide.
It's a nice diagonal ball in there. It's a big ask to score from that distance. Never had it covered the whole way.
Problems for Terry Butcher to solve.
They just found themselves with loads of space, Hearts on that right-hand side, which enabled the quality of the cross.
A special day in Edinburgh. And for the Hearts supporters, it's all about avoiding the drop today. They would never hear the end of that. Two glum faces in the Hibs end. Lee Griffiths joining the Hibs supporters in the Roseburn stand. Hibs taking up their full allocation of tickets, 3,500 for this derby. And Michael Nelson out to Lewis Stevenson. This is 24th Edinburgh derby. He's coming off Jamie Hamill. Ryan McGibbon. Whistle's gone.
Patterson just a little bit hasty there. Just needs to keep calm. He's diving in the challenge. There's the goal scorer.
I can't tell you, Gary, that Dale Carrick stayed behind for a bit of extra shooting practice at Rickerton this week. Paid dividends.
Now, when the ball went past him towards Stevenson, he did just stand and watch it. He turned him and immediately reacted to the knockdown, and the first touch and finish was excellent.
What do Hibs have in store for the Hearts defence? Plenty of targets in there. And Forster had joined the throng. What more? A shuffle and a shimmy. Jason Holt taking care of the situation. Dale Carrick's goal, the difference here in the derby.
This is the ball up at the back post. It goes past him, but he stays alive. Clever knockdown by Stevenson. And a good finish by Carrick. You see how happy he is there.
Let's have 1-2 of the three Edinburgh derbies played this season in all competitions. One win in the league, the other in the League Cup at the quarter-final stage. It was at Easter Road. Hibs victorious in January. And a nail-biter. Gary Locke just getting on with the job. Not worried about the drama off the pitch, and there's been plenty of drama. Perhaps a bit more to come in the next few weeks based on what happens in Lithuania. Carrick forced to try to hem him in. It's Ryan Stevenson. His hearts keep going. And the shot from David Smith. Ben Williams has it.
Good advantage by the referee, just let the game go there. There's a little infringement here on Carrick in the corner. Just falls for Stevenson, he bursts into the box from Nicholson. Just down the line of the keeper.
Stephen McLean spotted that one. Holt is up against Taiwo. Tom Taiwo being called over.
Yeah, no surprises here. This is the type of challenge you see in a derby match. There's not a great deal in it. It's just more of the follow through.
Danny Wilson to take this one. And the noise being generated by the Hearts supporters in the early phase of this Edinburgh derby. These occasions, something of a kaleidoscope of shifting emotions. Carrick, slipped away by Stanton. McGibbon, McGibbon's pass fails to hit the target. It was intended for Lewis Stevenson, but Hearts are wired in.
I think both sides are wired in. It's been a really good start. The fans have played their part, but so have the players. Real fast start by both sides. Both sides looking to get forward, look to get men forward.
McGibbon was barring the way to goal. Michael Nelson attempted to bring it under control. Ryan Stevenson. To see a fair bit of Lewis Stevenson occupying that sector of the pitch, the pair of them.
Stevenson's, Nicholson's.
It's 28 points ahead of their city rivals. Just don't want to get dragged into a relegation scrap.
I suppose there is a little threat of that, but I think they're pretty much safe, Hibs. They want to finish the season on a high. A lot of these players playing for contracts and places next season. It's going to be a big summer for Terry. I think there'll be quite a bit of change at Hibernian. Opportunity for him to bring his own players in.
McCarthy with the Hearts throw, helped on its way by Stevenson and then by Nicholson. Only as far as Holt. Delighted to have Jason Holt back in the starting 11.
McCarthy really strong in a couple of challenges there.
Petrie, the chairman of Hibernian. This runs a tight ship. It's fireworks on the pitch that the Hibs fans want to see. But you've got to give it time. Butcher and Morris Malpas, the management team nowadays.
Considering the job he did up in the Highlands, I would like to think, given the support, get Hibs back in that top six where they belong.
Carrick trying to link the play. Ryan Stevenson. Carrick has made himself available. As it comes to Hamill, a miscue from Jamie Hamill, and he knows it.
It's high and wide. Again, it's Stevenson who's getting involved. He's just sort of played in this left-hand side, just inside Nicholson. Just don't know if they're coping with the positioning of Ryan Stevenson. He's really been influential in this opening 14-15 minutes.
Collins competing for it. To win his battle, Ryan Stevenson. Ryan McGibbon. Jordan Forster it was who went to ground. His defender has moved into central defence today for the derby.
That's the centre half, just in that little quandary. Do I go in and pick up Stevenson? That occasion he did and got himself hurt.
Oh, now Collins, nearly. Offside flag was up anyway then. And Leslie, the assistant referee on the near side.
It falls nicely here. Collins goes far too early. Wilson just steps up on him. A good couple of yards off.
Hasn't scored in any of his last 8 matches, James Collins. He's paid around £200,000 to Swindon for his services at the beginning of the campaign.
He was a youngster at Villa when I was there. I just feel when I've seen him play for Hibernian, he's just been isolated. He's been a lone striker. He's not had a great deal of support.
Forster from the back.
Again, that's typical of the sort of pass I've seen played up to Collins. Very difficult to produce anything on the end of that. Just one straight long ball.
Carrick is back to goal. It's deftly done to try to occupy the mind of Nelson. Smith scored in the January derby. Full Hearts level, ultimately losing 2-1 to Hibernian. Patterson. Beautiful play. Smith now. Ball on the ground to Carrick. It's going to be a Hibernian ball. The Hearts supporters enjoying what they're seeing up to this point. 16 minutes gone. Hearts 1, Hibs 0.
And so they should be again. It's a nice combination play on that right hand side. Smith, Patterson, Hamill, and then into the feet of Carrick.
Nelson, Scottish League Cup winner with Kilmarnock. Danny Wilson. Back to Jamie McDonald. Of course, goes through his paces day in, day out with Alan Combe. Keeping coach here at Tynecastle. Given has to beat Stevenson in the air. Jerry Hamill optimistic that time. Handling hasn't really been able to get into the game so far. Stevenson to set James Collins free.
He's just making a little diagonal movement there between the two centre backs. Stanton just overhits his pass.
Two bosses, Messrs Locke and Butcher. Pictures of concentration.
Locke just wants to be a little bit more happier than Butcher. Strong start by Hearts.
Taiwo. Nicholson. Stevenson and now Carrick and Smith off to the right. David Smith. Nelson snapping it away. And Stevenson forward again up to Collins.
Again, the biggest threat for Hibernian is this left-hand side of Hearts. Stevenson, Nicholson combining. On that occasion when he got it to Carrick, he just put Smith a little bit wide. It's the clever play on this left-hand side.
Patterson high into the Gorgie air. And Stevenson. It's back for Michael Nelson.
Taking no chances, a little bit nervy with that clearance. Could have got the ball under control, maybe going back to the keeper.
Hearts have won 10 of the last 17 Edinburgh derbies in all competitions. It's been a bit of a tale of woe for Hibs in this fixture in recent years. 5 triumphs in the last 27 meetings with Hearts in the league. Inching towards the 20-minute mark here at Tynecastle. And Jamie McDonald hasn't had all that much to contemplate.
He's not been worried at all. Hearts dominating the important area, the middle of the pitch. As you can see, that's the most important one. 1-0 to the Hearts, but attempts, shots on target. Hearts are bossing it.
McDonald was looking for the head of Stevenson. Commanding play by Forster. Here's handling. Running into Dylan McGowan, and then Jamie Hamill has tried to close down his opponent, Stanton.
Handley just breaking it in the middle of the park there. Just overruns it a little bit. Just overruns it here. And it's McGowan who comes strongly through. Got a little nick in the ankle.
I'm sure the Hibs supporters have heard the Hearts counterparts. Long way to go though in this Edinburgh derby. There's no 1 o'clock gun here in the Scottish capital on a Sunday. But the initial shots fired in this wonderful fixture. If we don't have it next season, it doesn't look likely, does it? We're all going to be that bit poorer.
No, absolutely. You can generate a paying public with this. Great atmosphere inside Tynecastle here.
Alan Maybury, who wishing to helping out on the playing front, works as a development coach with Hibernian, 35. Really has a terrific record in Edinburgh derbies. Both halves of the divide, 7 wins, 6 draws, just 2 defeats. And in his 4 derbies with Hibs. Well, that time pursuing McGibbon.
I think that's that good experience that Maybury has. Maybe influenced Terry Butcher's selection of him today. He was a youngster at Leeds United when I was there. Quite just make it through.
They're trying to play his way through. Giving it a scalp. It's an ordinary start to this derby by Hibernian, you've got to say.
Just been unable to get the ball down. Teo, Stanton, no really found handling in that little hole. They've been bossed by the Hearts players who are clearly don't want to lose this game.
So many of these young Hearts players thrown into first-team football out of necessity. It's trying to overcome the debilitating effects of the 15-point penalty, and of course the signing embargo. Taken by Forster for Hibs. Here's Watmore. Offside. Just a quick reminder, coming up on Friday, another derby for you to enjoy. Ross County against Inverness Caledonian Thistle. The Highland Derby, BT Sport 1, and then on Monday we're back here in Edinburgh, Monday the 7th of April, from 7:15 for Hibs against Aberdeen. As Aberdeen pushing strongly for second place in the Premiership.
Game at Pittodrie yesterday. Surprised to see Motherwell lose.
Forster to commit himself. Nicholson looking for an opening. Stanton. Nicholson trying to cut it out. Stanton again coming into the move. McGibbon. Collins trying to reposition his body.
I think it was Collins that just took the ball away from Watmore as he was winding up to hit the volley. As you can see, just nicks him there. Just a bit to control it, Watmore. Just a lack of communication.
have gone 6 matches without an away win. To end that run. Wilson communicating with McDonald.
I just think Hibs are keen to get any sort of run, any momentum at all. Been into the final stages this season. It's been a tough season for both these Edinburgh clubs.
Blustery day here in the Scottish capital. The Har to deal with as well. It's coming off the North Sea.
That's missed for people who don't know what Har is.
It's a great Scots word. Hearts in control as we speak. 25 minutes gone. And McCarthy. This is 50th league appearance for the Jambos. And Danny Wilson goes to the fence. Dylan McGowan playing beside him, the Aussie from Adelaide. It goes to McDonald. The boot of Patterson. Still hitting it.
Just a little bit of anxiety from the Hearts fans there. As Patterson trundled that one back to McDonald.
Michael Nelson to take this free kick. Up there, Maybury. It's poor.
Yeah, it's overhit. And for 26 minutes in here, and you can see two contrasting styles. I think Hibs are more direct. They look to go to Collins early. Hearts are a little bit more inventive, looking to get the ball into the likes of Nicholson and Smith and the influential Stevenson. And that's what's winning the game.
Tynecastle on a Sunday afternoon. 50-50 as far as possession's concerned. Collins has gone all the way back. Here's McGibbon, Northern Ireland international, Ryan McGibbon. Stanton, and the errant challenge from Ryan Stevenson. Yellow card has been produced by Stephen McLean. Ryan Stevenson having his name taken.
Stanton is clearly favourite here. He just tries to toe poke it away. It's just that little bit late. Stanton nicks it off him.
For Stevenson and his 14th Edinburgh derby. McGibbon pondering the free kick. Pushing and shoving going on. With appeals from Hibs players, from Forster in particular. Away here by Carrick. Ryan Stevenson to judge the bounce of it. Stanton and Lewis Stevenson. The scope here for Hibs to get forward. And handling is almost able to make the connection with Watmore. Thought about it for a second or two. Maybury. Watmore. Maybury. The shot comes in from Danny handling. He misfires though.
It's a better phase of play by Hibs. Just getting a few passes in. And Watmore cutting inside, gets it to Maybury, who then just chops his cross square. Good first touch, just can't bend it. And this is a little penalty claim. Ball in from McGibbon. There's a sort of coming together. Oh, yeah, there's some jersey being pulled there. Forster feeling he was pulled back.
Callum Patterson was Forster's direct opponent.
He's got a case there.
Jordan Forster to be brought up here in Gorgie. Collins. There's McGowan for company. Handling waiting in the centre. Danny Wilson taking possession away from Danny Handling. His Hearts try to construct now. Nicholson. And supporters trying to roar Sam Nicholson forward. Secures his route. Smith. Hamill. Set pair of hands. Ben Williams.
Again, Hearts getting a little bit of joy when they rotate the ball going down one side and then transferring it to the other side, getting loads of space.
Almost 30 minutes gone, and Hearts hold dominion over Hibs. The Hibs have to win the game in order to send Hearts down today. Last 5 minutes, well, signs of life from Hibernian Gary.
Yeah, last 5-10 minutes, they've just managed to get handling onto the ball a little bit more. Some decent possession, a lot more driving in the pitch, linking with people.
And the giver particularly like the decision. Has got to be delighted with the effort put in by the men wearing maroon so far. Mostly of youngsters. The senior statesman taking that free kick. Stevenson who flicked it on. Ryan Stevenson. Goal kick.
And it's this time that Carrick's trying to provide for Stevenson. Roll reversal from the goal, tries to chest it down. Steven just pulls his shot wide. Again, those two combining.
Green is the colour behind that goal away to our left. The Mosburn stand, where the Hibs supporters are situated. The Hibs supporters had planned something of a relegation party.
It's great to see an away team take all their allocation. Makes for a great atmosphere.
Effective play by Holt. Nicholson was always struggling to reach it.
Tough task for Maybury today, I think. You know, Nicholson's impressed us on this left-hand side on 2 or 3 occasions this season. Doesn't stand on the wide, he likes to drift in the pitch and combine. A tough one for the older statesman.
There's Stevenson and now James Collins. Duncan Watmore. Nicholson doing excellently. Taiwo now though. Maybury. Taiwo. Standing firm. Coming off Kevin McCarthy. Maybury. Direct ball. Lead and drink to Jamie McDonald.
Just trying to go a little bit too quickly into Collins. They just put in another pass. That's when they've got a little bit of joy, Hibernian, when they've made a few passes rather than going direct.
Nicholson. Offside flag has gone up, however, it's not going to count. Nicholson just straying, in the opinion of Alistair Ross on the far side.
He just goes a little bit too early again. Carrick and Stevenson combining well. Oh, I don't know, I think he's online. And it's Carrick with the finish. I thought the fourth official got to give the advantage to the attacker.
Stanton trying to drive Hibs forward. How many times was that said back in the 1970s? Free kick here to Hibs. Handling on the ground. Well, Patterson didn't see it that way at all.
You can't win every ball. He's going for a ball on the back of handling. This is a dangerous area.
Every opportunity counts in an Edinburgh derby. Taiwo has just come over to have a word with young Stanton. Start on the spin for Sam Stanton. Leadership Young Player of the Month for February.
There's only one left footer on the ball here, looking over the wall side.
Sam Stanton. Not to be.
He tries to reverse it. Tries to go for the goalkeeper side. Trying to deceive the keeper. But it's well wide. As you see, he tries to wrap his foot right round it. Heavily disguised. He's got to hit the target.
Ten minutes remaining in the first half. It's been gripping up to this point. Interesting for both teams. Certainly more for Hearts. Think about what would happen if they were to go down today. McGibbon. McGowan.
Benwell troubled with the balloons. He's got the job of busting the balloons at the Hibs end there. We all can remember the Pepper Reina balloon moment. Wasn't quite as bad as that one.
At the head of Nicholson. Constant bubbles, a big part of what it's all about. In the Capital Derby. There's Forster. Putting his arm on the shoulder of Carrick. Apparently not. Ryan Stevenson loses his footing. Collins. Appeals from both parties that time. Collins and Nicholson. It's a Hearts throw.
Collins did well with the initial ball up. Good first touch, but then his feet in a little bit of a mess there.
Jamie Hamill. Stanton had a bit of ground to cover. Patterson. He played 6 times for the Scotland under-21 team under Billy Stark. Versatility, one of his great strengths, but happy to be ensconced at right back. Forster. His debut in the derby at the tail end of last season. This here as Hibs emerged victorious 2-1 thanks to a late goal from Ross Caldwell. It's currently done by Holt, and it's Wilson now for Hearts. Patterson. Stevenson, Stanton right on top of him.
Parsons had a good season, a real difficult season. He's grown, shown his versatility as well. Get them a goal. It looks very comfortable in the right back area.
Anderson's pass. So that is just one home win in the league since August. They on the side in front. Stevenson. And as quickly as he wanted to. Tywell. There's no handball. Hamill. A helter-skelter of the midfield area. Nicholson. Smith. And Carrick. Tried to make contact with the ball as it was fired across.
Just as it was getting heated there, it was Harps that showed calm. Put a few passes together to create that half chance.
Collins, Watmore, handling waiting in the middle. Lovely play by Duncan Watmore, and it's Collins! He squandered the opportunity, and what a chance it was.
Oh, it's super play by the young Watmore on the right hand side. Collins hooks it over his shoulder, great ball to Watmore, great first touch, driving into the box. He puts Hattie on his backside, cuts it back, he's got to hit the target. Oh, he's just leaning back. Well, that's just a striker who's just lacking in confidence. Maybe the better choice to put his boot through it rather than try to place. And this is the clever little play by Hearts. 2-3 passes and whipped in. Good movement by Carrick, just mishits his shot. End to end, Derek.
This was by McGowan. All trying to chase back. Taiwo slicing through. Handling. And the shot from Danny Handling. And Hibs trying to make inroads.
It's these little moments that make a difference. Great skills. Just getting up, finding a little bit of space. Gets it to Handling, who moves on his left side. Goes wide. Just those little bits of composure, little bits of skill that can make a big difference. Just allowing him a little bit of space to get his shot away.
Well, the Hearts fans in great voice. There's been so much rallying around at this football club. All the uncertainty off the pitch. Turning out. We want to put one over Hibs. So much talk about being the side to officially relegate Hearts. It's been a bit of a phony war this week in the lead up to the game. Taunts exchanged. It's going to go this way or it's going to go that way. Something to be in Edinburgh the week of a derby, especially one of such import.
It's my first derby. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Both sets of players have played their part. It's just slowly but gradually getting themselves back in the game.
Taiwo. Makate. By Stevenson, it's intended for Nicholson. Forster's pass, here's Hamill. Smith to the right. Carrick was waiting in the centre. That one takes off and into the Roseburn stand.
Oh, Smith, he had bodies arriving in the box. Again, it's off the back of a misplaced pass by Hibernian.
Of noise on the Hibs end as well. Behind Ben Williams. It's a spirited occasion. These two sides will meet again one more time after the split. Hibs will be a bottom half club. Stevenson, wonderful ball, and Carrick. Well, his radar just went a little wonky.
Again, Stevenson into Carrick. He's got a couple of options here. He could go right to Smith. Or he could maybe even have picked out the run of Hole. He chooses to go alone.
We're getting the full Tynecastle experience today. That's 1, Hibs 0.
Take into consideration the season both clubs have had. With a good game.
Nicholson went on that skipping run. Forster, it's the defender who got to it for Hibs. What more now? And Wilson. Holt. Coming off Maybury, and then Holt. Danny Locke, Billy Brown, should they be able to address charges? It's Nicholson. Oh, it was swerving, and Williams had to react. Crucial stop by Ben Williams to deny Sam Nicholson.
Oh, Derek, we're right in line with this effort. What a fantastic strike, and the save is a wonderful, wonderful save. Williams going with the right hand up to the left hand side. What a save, what a strike.
This is the first corner of this Edinburgh derby. David Smith to take it for Hearts. The away was by Nelson. The whistle had gone. Nicholson again involved.
He's just judged here for having his boot a little bit high. His head's down a little bit. I don't think he's got his boot that high.
Here in the bubbling heart of Midlothian, a frenetic, chaotic derby, and an early goal for the Jambos. Ben Williams beaten by Dale Carrick, the 20-year-old. Can Hearts finish the job in the second half, or will there be a Hibernian fight back? We shall see. At the break here in Gorgie, Hearts 1, Hibs 0.
Lots of European football to come today on BT Sport and ESPN. Right after us from the Bundesliga, it's Mönchengladbach against struggling Hamburg. ESPN today at 4 p.m. for the Ligue 1 clash between Lille and Guingamp. And then BT Sport 1 tonight, 6:30, the European football show, Napoli against Juventus. Top game there. That is the headline match tonight on BT Sport 1. And as we come back, one Paul Hartley is the call all around us. You'll be delighted about that. I think the green mic is scuppered here, Judges, with a standing ovation. Darren Jackson's here as well, alongside Stephen Craig, and they're not shouting your name just yet. Anyway, we've got lots to look back on because Hearts are leading 1-0 at half-time, which is maybe just as well for us standing so close to these fans. But it's been a really disciplined display from the young Hearts team so far, Paul.
I think they've been terrific the first period of the game. They've dominated it. Hibs come in at the last 10 minutes, but they've been a real threat, especially the wider areas, and Nicholson and Smith and Carrick up front and Stevenson just sort of playing off. But I think they've been absolutely excellent.
That was the sound of the start of the skills challenge right behind us, by the way. It was just a few metres away. I mean, Gary Lockall been delighted at half-time, won't he?
He'll be over the moon. Two different team talks. Lockie will just keep them going. I think the front five defensively have been great, but I think the front five have been fantastic. Carrick's held the ball up well, and he's got great support from the four behind him. But the service up to the Collins from the Hibs point of view, I think, has been terrible.
Yeah, conversely, Terry Butcher will be absolutely fuming, won't he, to lose a goal so early as well, Stephen?
Well, there will be, just the way they started the game. They couldn't get the ball, they couldn't retain possession, they couldn't pass to each other. They were just lumping it along, and they looked an average side. Last 10-15 minutes, yes, they have come into the slightly, but certainly disappointed with the start that they made.
They certainly did. It wasn't a great start for Hibs. Fantastic for Hearts, so Dale Carrick took this well, Paul.
It's a good ball in, but it's a great knockdown for Stevenson, just into his path. Can question the defending there, the centre half, a bit tighter to Ryan Stevenson. He's just come right off him. McGivern maybe could tuck round a little bit inside there, but it's a great finish, great little knockdown.
Yeah, an incredible finish, a great ball. It's obviously the great ball in from Patterson, but who's actually marking Patterson and then who's marking Carrick? That's why they're losing so many goals, but you've got to give credit to Hearts and look on the positives, and it was a great goal from their point of view.
Absolutely great goal from them. Hibs didn't really create very much in the half, did they? They really only got one out-and-out real chance, and it was for James Collins, and he couldn't take it. It was a poor effort in the end.
It's true, but any time that Duncan Watmore's got the ball and he's got some space ahead of him, there's definitely something there. There's passages of his play, he's a little bit immature at times. He gives the ball away and takes up the wrong positions. But when he's driving people and committing people, this is what he's good at. And a great spot. It would have been easy to have a shot or, maybe try and pull it back to someone else. But James Collins really should be doing a lot better.
Still no shot on target for Hibs. And interesting, Terry Butcher actually said he made some changes because last week there weren't enough shots on goal. So you'll be disappointed once again, Paul.
I don't think the service has been good enough up to the front. It's really direct, and the quality's been really poor. Said Collins has got to do better. He's got to at least hit the target, make the goalkeeper work.
And Ben Williams actually kept them in the game after that, didn't he? Because a great save from Sam Nicholson.
Fantastic save. Young kids had a great start to the game, and what a strike it is. And it reminds me of the save from Jamie Langfield yesterday. He's picked out the top corner, but all credit to the boy. What a shot, and as I said, fantastic save.
Sometimes you get the young kids, they actually play without fear. And I think at times he's like that. He gets the ball, he wants to take men on. Maybe an older player might have thought of playing a pass, but his first thought was, I'm going to take him on and get a shot away. And it really was a terrific save from Ben Williams. He's probably kept Hibs in this game.
He's been absolutely crucial actually for Hibs the last couple of seasons. He missed the game last week, birth of his second child. They'll be thankful he's back in today.
It was a great save, but what Nicholson's his first thought is to go forward. He's really positive in his play, comes inside, hits a great shot. It's a fantastic save for Williams.
He's been positive, hasn't he, today, Sam Nicholson?
He's been positive, so is Smith on the right, Holt and Stevenson. As I said, the front five have been great. They've had great service up to Carrick, and the front four have supported them really well.
And that's the current Hearts squad. No, it's not, but it might as well be. That is around about the age they're playing with at the moment. But I tell you what, those youngsters have been absolutely fantastic in the first half. And Dale Carrick marked that performance with a goal, just his third of the season, but he will not score a more important one. 1-0 to Hearts over the Hibs at half time. We'll be back for the second half shortly. It's a murky old day in Edinburgh, that's for sure. Second half on the way. First, let me tell you about ESPN tonight at 8 PM. IndyCar, the Grand Prix of St Petersburg, the start of the 2014 season. And once again, as we come back, Paul Hartley is getting another standing ovation, which you are loving. Come on, admit it. Hibs will be in there mulling over changes, perhaps. Would you change anything right now if you were in there, Paul?
I think you might see how the second half starts. First 10-15 minutes there, he might have to go for it. Maybe bring Heffernan on, Harris. Maybe even bring Kevin Thompson on to just get his foot in the ball and make a few passes.
Well, the top goal scorer this year is Liam Craig, so if you're looking for a goal from midfield, I would say Harris and Heffernan, definitely.
He's got a few options, doesn't he, on the bench?
Well, he has. You look at a squad, and I think it's a strong squad. Liam Craig is probably the one for me, because the Hibs are going back to front and the ball's dropping back down the midfield, and I don't think they're picking up second ball up. If Liam Craig's there, he'll gamble, he'll get beyond, he gets goals, so I'm sure that's one they'll look at.
Okay, Hibs on their way back out. No sign of a change quite yet, I don't think. Let's find out more though with Gary McAllister and Derek Bray.
And a very important second half coming up for Hibernian Football Club. They had hoped to be the team to officially relegate Hearts. They might still be, of course. They face a gargantuan task, trailing 1-0 in this Edinburgh derby. The early goal from Dale Carrick. And it will be Hibs attacking the goal to our left, playing towards the Roseburn end of the ground. That's where the Hibernian supporters are congregated today. No sign of any half-time personnel changes. Something we'll keep an eye on, particularly from the Hibs point of view. The likes of Liam Craig and Kevin Thompson and Paul Heffernan available in reserve. Early touch for Ryan McGivern. Trying to get it forward to James Collins. Low on confidence, no goals in his last 8. Danny Handling hasn't netted in any of his last 26 league games. He did score in the Scottish Cup against Ross County. First goal under Terry Butcher. And Smith comes away with it. And McGivern. Well, Gary, for you, what will be important in the second half here at Tynecastle?
Well, I think Terry Butcher would have seen a little bit of an improvement towards the end of the half. And I think he'd be encouraging these players to put an extra pass in. I just thought they tried to go too long, too quick. But once they started getting the ball to Watmore and to Stevenson, things improved. They're looking to build on that.
Tyrell's pass. At times Collins has looked a bit isolated. Let's rely on Handling for support. Danny Handling playing off the front man in this Hibernian setup. Stevenson, now Michael Nelson going from back to front. James Collins.
It's a tough job playing up there on your own. Not scoring many goals, confidence is low. I don't think you can fault his work rate.
Lewis Stevenson succeeded in picking out James Collins. Panic back there for Hearts.
James Collins taking the ball well on his feet there, protecting it, working the cross.
McGivern. Hit by Maybury. A tame effort, not the first one we've seen from 35-year-old Alan Maybury.
Oh, not known for his goal scoring. That was an awkward one to take. Very wide.
You're right, Gary, with that statement. No goals in his last 198 matches.
Not prolific.
All the way back to February 2006. As a Leicester player. Anything other than a Hibs win, Hearts won't go down today. What more? Gary Locke won't complain if Hibs continue to pass in that fashion.
Yeah, but Stanton was rushed into the bad pass, good closing down. It's a massive incentive for the Hearts players not to be relegated by their biggest rivals.
Callum Paterson, who has one more year left on his deal. There's been a bit of confusion in terms of the reporting of players out of contract. It was clarified earlier, Hearts have 7 end of the season whose deal will be up, not 12 as you might have read in 1 or 2 publications a week or so ago.
Yeah, we were informed of it, but it's still a big number, you know, in the way the club is at the moment. The sooner they can sort things, the better.
Stanton did well that time. Taiwo's pass, handling. Wilson moving in for Hearts. Play continues. Here's Watmore. Still going. Duncan Watmore. And the header away by Callum Paterson. Perhaps unable to attack the ball. Ryan Stevens. Was there a foul there? Yes. Free kick to Hibs. Stanton was caught just about dead centre this.
Just on the wrong side of Stanton here. You can see it's across the back there. It's off the back, a good positive direct movement by Watmore again.
So when you look at Watmore, you reach the conclusion that he might be the sort of player to change the course of events in this derby. Collins is having a quiet word with the young prodigy, Stanton.
Just the one option again that looks like Stanton. Does he go for power? Just trying to get it up and down quickly.
Taken by Sam Stanton. Straight into that Hearts wall. It was comfortable enough for Jason Holt. Jordan Forster and Ben Williams. Fabulous piece of goalkeeping that was by Williams on the stroke of half-time to deny Nicholson. Mechanic with a one-goal of record. That's wonderful work. David Smith nearly shaving the post. Hibs caught on the hop.
Again, it's a counter-attack. It's a lovely little through ball here just inside the full-back. You see what Smith's going for, hits across the ball. Oh, it's a fantastic effort. Got to go across the keeper. I just thought, I think the keeper might have said he had it covered, but a great strike by Smith.
Just 4 matches recently because of a knee injury, David Smith. He returned to the fold for the Friday night game against Dundee United last week on BT Sport. Can Hearts give themselves a cushion?
Smith was just trying to hit across the ball there, just trying to put a little bit of swerve on it to just get it inside that far post.
Johnny Wilson, in the vicinity for the Jambos. Today for being well wrapped up here in Old Reekie. Strong wind. It's coming predominantly from the east and off the North Sea. Smith connects in the centre. And Smith, Nicholson arriving as well on the scene. This one being tracked by Maybury.
Good defending by Maybury, just tracking the run of Nicholson. Good ball in again by Smith. Whips it in. Youngster coming in at the back post, but good defending by Maybury.
friendly sort of day, isn't it? Just no rain to speak of. It doesn't feel like the end of March. Anderson's header. Carrick not going to get away with that.
That cold wind's just gathering, it's just picking up a little bit.
Watmore. Joy for Duncan Watmore. There's something here. Taiwo. Handling. Lewis Stevenson on the left. In by Lewis Stevenson. Watmore. There's nothing there. Forward by Maybury, an inquiry about possible handball. But now Nelson at the back, and Williams has custody of it.
Some pressure by Hibernian.
Given, raking pass. He's wanted the free kick. Handling's not going to get it. Through Carrick. Given closing off the space. Expect a feeding frenzy when it comes to the Edinburgh derby. This match is usually tight. You're supposed to watch the game as well, are you not?
Well, it's been bad, but I don't think it's been that bad. It's been a good day today for them.
Given with the Hibs throw, comes off David Smith. Talk about the mental toughness or lack thereof in Hibs ranks. Such a big second half for them. Look at Jamie Hamill go here. Offside flag is up against Dale Carrick.
Well, it's the holding midfield Hamill who bursts forward on the counter-attack. Driving inside, just tries to slip it. He's onside there. It's fantastic time of the movement. Fourth official gets it wrong. Super little run there by Carrick, Derek. Timing his run there. Very difficult for the fourth official to pick it up.
Some pass by Forster. It's muttering again. Smith. His Holt's pass. David Smith. Michael Nelson. He's affected. Very look. Quite an animated discussion with Ian Brines, the fourth official. Was there something off the ball, I wonder, Gary?
Yeah, he's indicating there was an elbow somewhere on that counter-attack.
He had a chat with Alan Maybury. There's the always eager David Smith for the Corgi standout.
In for the Edghill. He's worked this right side really well, combining with Carrick. Nicholson goes for a little 1-2. Maybe he just blocks the run of Nicholson.
Gary Lake was asking Ian Brines about. So had a very good view of that, the Hearts manager, just a few yards away. Stevenson was poised to take that. Ryan McGibbon instead. Forster. And Maybury. Maybury had got his first taste of Scottish football as a Hearts player. Wearing the green and white of Hibernian. Collins. Shuffling away over on that far side. 11 minutes into the second half. Gary, should Hibs be thinking about personnel changes?
I think he'll be looking towards it very soon. He's got attacking players, he's got players who can actually get their foot on the ball and maybe make a few more passes just to provide us some better service to Handling and Collins.
Which has got the likes of Liam Craig and Kevin Thompson. on the bench. He's trying to build once more. Ryan Stevenson. Finally up the cul-de-sac. McGibbon. Handling. Getting right on top of Danny Handling. Stevenson with the pass for James Collins. Immediately onto it for Hibs. Watmore was closest of all. Here's Stanton. Who grew up here in Edinburgh, in the Trinity area. Stanton, concession of a corner by McGowan.
A little bit of pressure by Hibernian.
Vision crystal clear on the Roseburn stand. And there's a yellow card. And then Maybury is the man who's been shown it. Tense afternoon for all concerned. Tony Butcher might be wondering what the booking was all about. All hands on deck here for Hearts defensively. More with the delivery. Nelson to reach for it.
There was plenty of movement there from the set play. Nielsen coming round the back. Just a little bit long.
This is the goal that divides them.
Super ball in by Patterson. I like this. It's clever play. Little knockdown. Great finish by Carrick. A little knockdown by Stevenson. Just cushioned into the path of Carrick.
Passionate Jambo, Gary Locke, he's made captain of Hearts by Jim Jeffries. In the mid-90s, he described himself as the proudest man in Edinburgh. He's been in charge of the club for over a year now.
Captain, managed, played the club he loves. Doesn't get much better.
There's Nelson. McGowan getting up there, trying to thwart Collins. McCarthy from the back. Wasn't too particular about where it went. Ryan Stevenson getting the break of the ball. Smith. There's Hamill. Stevenson. Carrick. Hamill in the middle, but one bounce into the clutches of Williams. Wilson. Has covered quite a bit of acreage on the Tynecastle pitch today. His first start since November. He's played on the outset against Aberdeen. 3-1 win at Pittodrie on the 9th of November. There's Collins looking for scraps. And he takes aim. There's a question asked about possible handball. It's more of an instinctive appeal by Handling. Now the free kick. McGibbon is shown the yellow card as well for the foul on Smith.
It's a decent turn by Collins here. Shot on the turn. Well, it definitely hits the arm of McGowan. It's a big call. And Smith tries to poke it round one side of McGibbon and run round the other. He's obstructed.
Some confirmation of the booking for McGibbon. So based on the replay, going back to the handball, more convincing than it looked in real time.
Well, it looked as if the ball just hit off him. Definitely hit the arm of McGowan.
Hit the arm from your body like that, you're asking for a bit of trouble. Handling, looking to make progress. Whistle's gone. Free kick to Hibs.
Yeah, Holt just pulling back Handling here. The number of silly free kicks is just increasing. A little bit of frustration by Hearts, who are not getting it all their own way like they did in the first half.
Stanton positioning the ball. Comes off Hamill. Behind for the corner.
was awkward for Hamill. Just a little ball in to a dangerous area by Stanton.
Hard worker on the training pitch at East Mains. Sam Stanton, he's impressed everyone. McGibbon with a header. Couldn't find the target.
It's whipped into the near post by Stanton. McGibbon gets across. McHattie there. Just glance it onto the target. Again, good delivery by Stanton.
Hibernian knocking on the door. Not sure whose shoe that is. From the crowd. Certainly doesn't belong to a player. McHattie. 18 minutes into the second half. Smith. Carrick has gone into the box. Smith! And across the face of goal.
Well, it's a similar effort to the one he had previous, driving at McGibbon. Again, he just tries to hit across the goal. Just pulls it. Again, positive by Smith. Driving right into the Hibernian box.
Since cut adrift, playing for so much pride this afternoon against their capital rivals. He's attempting to battle back. McGibbon. Keep it going, it's McGibbon. Here's Stevenson with a scurry. By Nelson. Comes off Patterson. Right, in some way towards explaining the shoe mystery. His handling. Second half possession goes. Encouragement for Hibernian.
Yeah, definitely reaction from Hibernian. Terry would have just been saying at half-time, just going to the second half the way you finished the first, there was definite improvement. And they're now in the faces of Hearts. They're like a proper derby.
Richard Hibs, 10th permanent manager in the last 16 years.
This is what Hibs have done well in the second half. They've actually got closer to Hearts. Just stopped them from playing.
Tremendous vocal backing for Heart of Midlothian as Kevin McHattie prepares to deliver. Stevenson, there's Collins right in front of his goalkeeper Williams.
Just a little bit of panic in the header of Collins there.
Keep calm and carry on, I think the message from Ben Williams. Lewis Stevenson. Earmarked for Collins. Danny Wilson flinging himself at the ball for Hearts.
Great first touch by Stevenson, whips it round the corner there. It's a desperate header by Wilson. Collins was arriving.
With the in-swinger, Hamill was back there defending. That was high by Nelson. He took the wind out of Nicholson's sails.
That was very high, it wasn't just high. Take that to the back of the head.
Programming information, don't forget on Friday, BT Sport 1, it'll be the Highland Derby from Dingwall, Ross County. Trying to avoid the playoff position against Inverness County Thistle, guaranteed to be in the top 6. Then on Monday the 7th of April from 7:15 will be at Easter Road for Hibernian against Aberdeen. Niall McGinn scoring for Aberdeen yesterday in the 1-1 draw with Dundee United. Evans with a header. McCarthy tidying up for the Jambos. Alex Harris is going to make an appearance for Hibs. The young players to have come through the ranks. And what more departs the scene. From Sunderland. Big talk of Alex Harris being given an extended break by Terry Butcher to try to rediscover his form.
I thought Watmore did pretty well, direct and positive.
Kevin Thompson might have a role to play as well for the Hibs. Holt, a classy turn. Smith now. Patterson to his outside. Might stay alive here for Hearts. By Nelson. Caddick doing the manoeuvring. Get himself over towards the back post. Hibs need a win, remember, in order to officially relegate Hearts today.
Certainly been better in the middle third of the pitch. It's just when they get to that final third, do they have that little bit of guile, a little bit of class? Do they have any confidence? That's the other thing.
McGibbon. Collins, followed by Dylan McGowan. It's just the one game this season. Edinburgh derby for Dylan McGowan. Now Hibs go to the bench again. Tom Taiwo will be replaced by Kevin Thompson. Carrying a player you know well, you've worked with him.
Yeah, I've worked with this guy won't shy away from it, he won't hide. He'll go and look for it, he'll go and try and link it between middle and back and middle and front. Looks like a good combination, him and Stanton, the two left footers.
Kevin Thompson's 14th Edinburgh derby, played in by McGibbon. Maybury for Harris. Maybury tries again. Here's Thompson. Stanton. They've got their resources marshalled. Collins stretching for it.
And James Collins just trying to get across the near post, but his run's matched by Danny Wilson. It's been promising by Hibernian. They've pushed Hearts back, they've caused them to make mistakes. Just like that one.
Yep. Not what Jamie McDonald had in mind. Danny handling for Hibs. Jamie Hamill.
All we're seeing is this Hearts taking no chances.
Stanton for Stevenson, and now handling. Harris over there on the right. The confidence to fire it towards goal, Alex Harris.
That's a good switch of play by Handling. The first touch is excellent. That's a decent strike on target.
His first effort on target. It's McCarthy, hopeful sort of ball. Nelson shepherding it through to Williams.
And for all the better play, Derek, in the second half, they've not worried the goalkeeper. Donald's, as we say, that's the first shot on target. Some decent play across the middle third.
You just feel, don't you, it's going to be a scrap for Hibs the last few weeks of the season. Come on, the Hearts. They heard it from that particular gentleman, and they are going to get relegated. Hearts supporters have known that for some time. It's a matter of when, and they don't want it to be today.
Absolutely not today.
McGibbon. That's an awful lot of guile there. Has it again here, Ryan McGibbon. Stanton. The swivel by Collins. Now to pounce on it. There's Jamie McDonald.
Again, it's a nice little ball into the feet of Collins. Sharp turn, gets his shot away. The power was just taken away from it, a little deflection. Well, they've only had one shot on target. Very ambitious with a good 40 yards out there, McGivern. That's not going to worry McDonald.
131st Hearts appearance for Jamie McDonald. Tony Butcher trying to bark out the instructions. That message was for Ryan McGivern after his last shot. Holt. Maybury.
I've got to say, Derek, that Hearts have looked pretty content to holding on to what they've got. Got that early goal, pushing as many men forward.
Danny Wilson sweeps it forward. Dale Carrick in pursuit of the ball. Wilson did his job. Forster comes off Stevenson. John Robertson, who of course works with the strikers, is down to give his version of events. He's talking it over with Billy Brown and Gary Locke. Comes in on Thursdays, John Robertson, from his base up in the Highlands.
Yeah, and it was good little striker combination play for the goal. Stevenson linking with Carrick. Little cushion header, good finish.
And Collins managed to help the ball on its way to handling. Shuffle of feet from Harris. To get to the byline. Goal kick.
Yeah, Harris just tries to go on the outside of McHattie here. Another player who I think is growing this season, McHattie, starting to defend a bit better. Good strength. He had the pace as well.
A quarter of an hour remaining. This tension-laden Edinburgh derby. Handling. Danny Wilson. Pure handling, didn't have an awful lot of space in which to work. Here's Patterson. And Smith just beyond him. Up with Jamie Hamill now. Didn't quite open up for Hearts.
A decent first touch by Stevenson. They've just been unable to get Ryan Stevenson on the ball as much as they did in the first half.
It's going to be a Hearts change by the look of things. Paul McCallum coming on. Might well have started last week against Dundee United. Ruled out because of an ankle injury. So the Englishman, on loan from West Ham, will take the place of the young Scot, David Smith. And my goodness, the Hearts supporters appreciate what Smith has brought to the table in this derby.
Very, very direct, very positive. 2 or 3 good efforts at goal. He's done a really good performance in this right side, linking with Patterson.
So Paul McCallum is on. Joined in January on loan from West Ham. Scored 3 goals in 6 matches on loan at Torquay earlier this term. Patterson with a header on. And can Hearts notch what would be a 3rd derby win this season in all competitions? Held up by the wind. All together with handling and McGivern. And the free kick goes the way of Ryan Stevenson.
McGivern, it's just through the back of Stevenson there. It just looks as if McCallum's gone up front and Carrick has come onto the right side to keep the same shape.
Campbell's labouring a bit, I can tell you. Taken by McCarthy for Hearts. Nothing wrong with the idea as he looked for Danny Wilson.
McCarthy whips it into the far post. Just gets above Nielsen, winning the header.
It's a nerve shredder, isn't it? It's the Gorgie stand. Very close to the play there. Additional Hearts end.
No, I always think that's one of the beauties of Tynecastle. The fans are so close to the players.
Excellent ball by Handling. Here's Harris. The dead end. Alex Harris, who's going to be full of running. Nelson from the back. Scott Robinson is going to come on for the Jambos. Next stoppage in play. Given his instructions, Robinson. Handling, unable to control it. McGibbon. Handling. Hamill keeping a weather eye on him. Maybury. Harris. Maybury. McCarthy. Sticking to his task. It fizzles out.
Again, McCarthy's standing strong. He's grown in stature in a very difficult season. The youngster, stronger every time I see him. Good left peg.
He's happy to hold on to the ball, waste a few seconds. McCarthy taking the throw in. Wilson holds. McCallum come on. Wilson's pass, and it was ordinary.
Definitely not been as adventurous in this second half, as you'd expect. They want to protect that lead. They know how important it is.
Substitution now on hold. Hearing from the other side of the pitch. Scott Robinson was about to come on. McGibbon. Carrick was the player who just got caught out, and Stanton striding forward. And he's carved a corner out of this. Corner kick to Hibernian with 9 minutes of normal time remaining.
Yeah, good anticipation by Stanton. Just winning possession in the middle of the park and driving forward, winning the corner.
Well, it's that sort of occasion. It's Harris with it. McCallum away. Toing and throwing inside the penalty area. Kevin Thompson. Very accurate pass it was. Harris. Here's Handley. Just steady himself. Too many maroon shirts in the way, and another corner conceded, this time by Patterson.
And you can see the anxiety on the fans, the Hearts fans that is. Desperate clearance there.
Stanton with the corner. Collins was making that late run. Now Forster. Hopeful ball. Nelson. What can Hibs pull out of the fire? There's the answer. Jordan Forster. But the flag is up and it's not going to catch. Forster, who grew up in this very part of it, in Gorgie. No goal.
It's whipped into the back post here. That's what a bad decision this is. There's nowhere near offside. It's a great finish. One of the Hearts defenders just getting caught deep.
Alistair Ross is the man who had the big decision to make. Now it's going to be substitution time. Jordan Forster thought it was a perfectly good goal.
He rose well and directed a beautiful header into the corner.
Off has gone Dale Carrick, the Hearts goal scorer, replaced by Billy King. So we saw Scott Robinson earlier readying himself, but it's King, the 19-year-old, It's 20 appearances now on the trot for Billy King as a substitute. And Carrick has earned his corn.
I'll just be hoping it's a winner.
Hibs will have their own views on that subject. The ball on the net seconds ago.
Just a couple of waves of attack where I felt Hearts hadn't cleared the box well enough. I just think in this instance,
I think when the Hibs players see it later, they're going to be rather cross that that wasn't given. Here's Handling. Harris. Patterson away. Ryan Stevenson. Free kick conceded.
Well, Ryan Stevenson just got caught a little bit flat-footed here. Thompson very sharp in, stealing the ball on the edge of the box.
Well, substitutions are coming thick and fast. Just want to make a change at this juncture. Kearney coming on for Danny Handling. Kearney, the former Partick Thistle player. Well, quite a few hearts in mouths, if you'll excuse the pun. Here is Sam Stanton for Hibernian, not one of his cleverest. It's gone a begging.
Oh, you can see how disappointed he is there. Just gets a little bit excited. That's a good clearance. Hearts don't necessarily clear the box very well. As McGowan gets left in there, and as it comes in the second time, clearly Foster onside at the back post. Directs it into the corner, and it's a poor decision. It's one that shouldn't have been missed. Clearly McGowan was slow getting up off his feet.
I think the Hibs players and Terry Butcher, when they see the replays, are going to be very tempted to, as they say here in Edinburgh, go Raj. Just coming off the head of Thompson. Here's Stevenson. It's up against Ryan Stevenson. 4 minutes of normal time remaining. Hearts 1, Hibernian 0. Here's Stevenson topping it out with Billy King. Kearney's pass. Harris is in full flight. Kearney releasing it. Alex Harris again. Oh, it wouldn't fall for a Hibs player.
Oh, what a fantastic little ball by Alex Harris here. Just plays it blindly. Little knock back by Maybury, just whips it round the corner. It's in a great area. Oh, there's got to be a Hibs player attacking that. Great ball in by Harris.
Now it will be Scott Robinson time. Jason Holt returning to the starting 11 and acquitting himself very well indeed from the metatarsal injury. Congratulated, rightly so, by Gary Locke. Scott Robinson, the player who has come on. Don't forget about the IndyCar series, the Grand Prix of St Petersburg tonight. That's on ESPN. Start of the season. Here's Harris. 3 minutes remaining. Forster. This is Nelson.
Hamley done by Hibernian. Just working himself with that tricky little situation.
Another free kick. The Hearts players can't quite believe it. It was who went down. Stanton surveys the scene. Every second must seem like every minute, rather like an hour.
Loads of missing fingernails.
Stanton with the arm up. Kevin Thompson all along the ground. Hibs looking for that magical moment. A performance of fruitless toil so far for Hibernian, and they have to be careful here, especially with Billy King. Say Alan Maybury, you'll recall, was booked earlier. Second yellow card, and it's falling apart for Hibernian. Hibs reduced to 10.
Oh, as you can imagine, Hibs chasing the game, and it's King who just nipped in front of Maybury on the counter attack. There's very little the referee can do but give another yellow.
Glum faces all for Hibernian. I'll tell you that we had a pitch invader just then. Hopefully he has been escorted off. Almost at the 90-minute mark. It's 11 against 10. It's 1-0 to Hearts. It's been that way since the 6th minute. And the indications are we're going to have a minimum of 4 added minutes here at Tynecastle. Hearts supporters have tried to play the role of 12th man. Stanton with the pass. Out of 16,873. McCallum just couldn't quite get there. Lewis Stevenson. Information of the 4 additional minutes. Harris for Hibs. For the 10 men of Hibernian have left to throw at Hearts.
Oh, they've worked away tirelessly. Hibernian, they've huffed and puffed, they've dominated. Just didn't get that decision.
Hearts going to record only the 6th league win of the season. 2 of the 5 wins up to this point have come against Aberdeen. In second, Ryan Stevenson will be happy that a few more seconds can be wasted. Well, Terry Butcher is trying to organise his players.
And he's put his captain in centre half up the pitch. He's put Nielsen up there.
Hearts have wanted this so badly.
Well, they started the game brilliantly. We showed real intent. Hearts were just a little bit slow to start. The Hibs have dominated the second half.
McGibbon taking the throw. Came off Stanton's boot. Robinson, and Hibs looking very exposed here. Nicholson with the pass. It might fall for Billy King. He could finish it. Billy King! 2-0 to Hearts! And the message is clear. Not on this patch of Edinburgh land. Not in a derby. No relegation today.
No, in a season where there's not been a great deal of smiling here at Tynecastle. Smiling faces everywhere. Through the staff, the fans, the players. Super composure by King. As you can imagine, on the counter attack. Extra man, they've got 4 versus 1 here. Oh, it's clever play, clever choice of pass. Can you compose yourself, young man? Yes, you can. And there's the slot. And the place erupts. Good little choice of pass here. Good skills, good finish. And the place erupts.
Billy King applies the finishing touch. The first goal of his Hearts career, and look at the delight etched on the face of Gary Locke.
When you've seen so much pressure on that young Gary's face, young manager. Got to take the highs with the lows, and this is an almighty high. Big result.
And a few scarves on the pitch, thrown on there from the Roseburn stand. Terry Butcher will want to forget all about this. Got a victory in his first Edinburgh derby as Hibs manager. It's going to become the first boss since Alec Maley in the early 1920s to record back-to-back derby wins to begin with as Hibs boss. Something else was thrown on there. It might have been a drumstick. I'll confirm that for you.
It certainly looked like a drumstick. Yeah, there it is.
There it is, yeah. Of a seat, which is always disappointing. It's been hard for Hibs to take this. Hearts have avoided the ignominy of suffering relegation at the hands of their fiercest rivals. Passion, courage, gumption. Come up with the words that you think are appropriate. Hearts take the derby spoils again. They might be bottom of the table. They might be destined for relegation, but it wasn't going to happen on this Sunday. There was a late goal from Billy King to make certain of this victory after Dale Carrick had put the Jambos in front. The final score in the Edinburgh derby: Hearts 2, Hibernian 0.
Derek, Gary, many thanks indeed. It was a dramatic day, drama all the way to the very end, but you can see what it means to the Hearts manager. Gary Locke had a tremendous record in the derby as a player. He's continuing it as a manager, and that will mean the world to every one of those young players, every one of the fans here as well. They've not been relegated yet, that is for sure. They've avoided the drop today, and Gary Locke will soak this in. They'll reflect back on what's not been a great season for the club, but this has been a great day. Let's listen in to what Gary's saying to his players if we can. Emotion filled for sure. As the anthem rings out here, it's a fantastic day for all of the Jambos. We allowed them to sing because it has been a magnificent day for them. Let me tell you what's to come from BT Sport in Scotland this Friday. Another derby, the Highlands derby, Ross County against Inverness. That's Friday at 7 p.m. And then Monday we're back with Hibernian again. Their last game before the split against Aberdeen, Monday the 7th of April, 7:15 BT Sport 1. This is the Premiership table then. And it shows that Hearts are still rooted to the bottom. Still 21 points adrift, but not relegated today. They need to win again against Aberdeen midweek to avoid the drop then. Hibernian in 7th, and they are just 6 points away from that relegation playoff position. So his third goal of the season. Dale Carrick put Hearts ahead. Jordan Foster thought he'd got Hibs right back into it, but his goal was ruled out for offside. Big call, incorrect one as well. Massive moment there. And Billy King, the king of Tynecastle. The young Jambos have won, and we'll reflect back on all of that next. Well, this is the story of an incredible match here at Tynecastle. It meant the world to both teams. A win for Hibs and they would have relegated their greatest rivals. But it started very well for Hearts indeed. Dale Carrick, his third of the season. Massive goal for them. There were chances for both teams after that. James Collins, the first shot for Hibs over the bar. Ben Williams then made a fantastic save from Sam Nicholson. David Smith just inches wide. And then a big talking point, Jordan Foster's goal disallowed incorrectly before Billy King rounded it all off for Hearts after Alan Mabry had seen red. Reaction now with Emma Dodds.
Alongside two of the victorious Hearts players, goal scorer Dale Carrick and Jason Holt. Jason, it looked tough out there, but how big a win was that for Hearts?
It's a massive win. You know, all the talk's been about Hibs coming down here and try to relegate us, but you know, we knew that dressing room that was never going to happen. We were never going to let it happen, and we're just glad to come away with such a massive victory.
They did put you under pressure for large periods of the second half particularly, but you didn't panic. Was that always the plan?
Yeah, you know, we've got great character inside the dressing room, and I think we proved that today. And 2 goals, you know, Dale's took his goal well, and Billy coming on took his goal well as good as well, so you know, we can't complain.
Dale, your first derby appearance of the season, you did get that opening goal. You didn't panic, did you? What were you thinking when the ball came to you?
Hit the net, try and get it in. To be fair, I did shank it with my left foot, but a goal's a goal, so I'll be happy with that one.
You have been doing extra shooting practice. I saw you at Rickerton earlier on in the week, and obviously it's paying off for you.
Yeah, all he says, Robbo, is technique, and the ball going to goal.
You touched on it there, Jason. You know, we talk about the win today. You are still a Premiership team. How important was that for the players not to go down in a derby game?
Yeah, of course. You know, we said, like I said before, we said from the start, we were never going to let Hibs relegate us, and we've done that today, and we've had a great performance, so we're all delighted.
You were one of the star performers in the team today. You've just come back after a long period out. Pleased with your own contribution?
Yeah, really happy actually. You know, it's like you said, it's my first start. I think 4 months or so. So now I'm delighted to get back in the team, and hopefully I can keep my place.
Well, you are the man of the match today, Dale. Can you do the honours, present the champagne?
There you go, mate. Thanks,
well played, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the fans are sticking around because alongside Paul Hartley, Darren Jackson and Stephen Craigan, Gary Locke has come out to join us. And I can see actually emotion written all over your face, even on the way over there.
Yeah, it was a big game for us, you know. All we had heard about all week was, you know, obviously Hibs coming here to relegate us, so that was a result for our supporters, you know. They're stuck by us all season, and you know, that was for them.
It wasn't just a big game really, it was a massive game, wasn't it, given the scenario?
Yeah, it was a massive game because, you know, one thing that we didn't want was for obviously Hibs to come here and be the team that put us down. Although I did say during the week, you know, they're going to be Hibs that relegated us. It's over the course of the season we've not picked up enough points. So, you know, the fans have had to put up with a lot here this season, and you know, hopefully they'll be happy tonight.
We just saw Dale Carrick there speaking, and I have to say he led the line fantastically well. What a goal he took for you as well.
Yeah, I thought he was outstanding all day, you know, and one of the things we felt was our front three, with Stevenson getting in touch with him, could cause Hibs problems with their pace. And I think, no, it's a great touch he's took there, and he's stuck it away brilliantly.
He's taken it really well, Darren, hasn't he?
Fantastic. Poor defending again, but give Hearts credit. Great ball in, great layoff, and fantastic finish for the young boy.
Good composure he shows also. It's a great knockdown. He's in between them. Good ball into the box, and a perfect start for Hearts.
Fantastic start, wasn't it, all round?
Well, it's probably what Gary's side needed. You know, coming into the game, there's a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure on them because of the scenario. So, you know, I was saying, you know, could they cope, you know, before the game? But once the game started, they did. I thought their enthusiasm, I thought their energy was great, but also their quality was much better today than what it's been in the past, Gary.
Yeah, it has been, you know, and with young lads, you know, you're not going to get consistency every week, and what we've tried to work on all season is to make the young players better. When they get into the final third, you know, play the pass we're wanting, or play the cross we're wanting, and you know, as the season's went on, you know, they've done that better. And, unfortunately, it's probably a little bit too late for us, but I think, you know, over the course of the season you can see there's a big improvement in a lot of the players here. Yeah,
and there was a huge call, I have to tell you as well, in case you've probably not seen this yet, but you might have heard there was a goal for Jordan Foster. It was ruled out for offside. Take a look at this. Incorrect, we think here. It looks as if he's onside. Eventually when it comes out.
Yeah, just getting a look at it here, yeah.
What did you sense actually at the time? What did you feel when you were first watching on?
Well, obviously you think that they've equalised, and then the linesman had his flag up, but you know, it's a great header for the lad, to be fair. You know, he's very good in the air, very aggressive, and that's one thing Hibs are very good at. You know, when they put balls into the box, they've got a lot of height.
I think it's Dylan McGowan, isn't it? I think it's Dylan McGowan's landing the ground. You see him coming out the bottom of the picture.
Yep, aye, well, looking at the pictures there, you know, he looks as if he's on. We've got a lucky break there, but we've not had many of them this year, so we'll take that.
Huge call, wasn't it, Paul?
It was a huge call. Incorrect, but Gary will be glad of that. You know, the linesman doesn't see it. He's lying down and he just sort of walks out. It's a great head there.
They'll have that sense of injustice though at 1-0.
Of course they will. I mean, you think to yourself, how can the linesman get that wrong? On the line, but you've got to earn luck in the game, and Hearts worked very, very hard, and at the end of the day deserved the victory. But that turns the game at a crucial point, and where the young kids were getting a bit tired, but they got that decision, it kicked them on a little bit.
And it was really turned the game, if not before, when Alan Maybury was sent off 2 yards as well, Stephen, and you could just sense Hearts at that point might be able to finish it off.
Well, I think there's a few instances in the first half where Alan Maybury was lucky not to get a yellow card. But as soon as he's exposed, Hearts build the play, they get in behind, and it's a good turn of pace. But there's nothing Alan Maybury can do but lunge in and try and make a tackle. The tackle, he must have knew in his mind it's a second yellow and I'm off. And then the game opened up in their last 4 or 5 minutes, and Hearts were able to go and pick them off.
And you did pick them off shortly after. Billy King, what a moment for him! First goal for the club.
Yeah, delighted for him. He's Billy, and he's been in and out of the team, but we just felt a wee bit of freshness towards the end. And when he gets the ball, he carries it really very, very good at running with the ball with pace. And absolutely over the moon for him, because he's a big Hearts supporter, so that's his first goal. He'll be over the moon with that.
Composure as well.
It's a good pass, and he stays onside, but goes round the goalkeeper. Great composure. Hearts deserved the victory today. I thought young Nicholson and Smith in the wider areas caused the Hearts fullbacks, Hibs fullbacks, all sorts of problems all day long.
Yeah, I think you're right, Paul. I think when the two of them are playing with confidence, they're a handful. And one thing this season, we've not had a lot of options, but we're getting Jamie Walker back fit now and Billy King as well. When they're tiring, we've got the option of putting these lads on. So delighted to see them back, and obviously delighted with the result.
Have you had a chance to say anything to them yet? Before you came
No,
to
just says, really proud of the performance. I think we were all the fans, a big performance today and the result, and we've got that, so we're delighted.
Okay, I'm going to mull over the Hibs performance. I'm going to say thank you very much and let you go back to your dressing room. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, let's just reflect on Hibs, because Terry Butcher, no sign of him yet. Cheers, Gary. Thanks. No sign of Terry Butcher yet to do an interview, and no wonder, really.
It could be a while. I was saying to Paul and Darren during the game, I've been in that dressing room a few times and Terry's been ranting and raving and shouting and screaming, and I think he'll be disappointed more than anything, particularly in how they started the game. They were slow out of the blocks. The young Hearts side got on top of them, they couldn't respond. We said at half time they couldn't pass the ball, they couldn't keep the ball. Second half they had a lot of possession and probably dominated the second half, but goal threat is something they've lacked all season. 29 league goals they've got this season, and it showed today. They need a marksman, they need a striker, they need somebody in the wide areas to create. Alex Harris, as we'd said, Darren, I think he done quite well when he came on, but I think they needed more of that.
I thought he did very well. The boy Watmore did well, but I thought Harris just gave them that little bit extra quality. Kevin Thompson coming on, put his foot in the ball and tried to make passes, as I say, at a time when the game was kind of dying and Hibs came into it a bit more. But I think being a forward player, Hibs' defence was fantastic. The Hearts' defence was fantastic, but I thought the Hearts' front five were outstanding today.
How much trouble?
Rate, ability was tremendous.
How much trouble are Hibs in then, Paul?
I think they're in a relegation battle now. There's no two ways about it, but I thought Hearts wanted it more today. They started the game better, they were on the front foot, they showed more energy than Hibs. Hibs didn't work Jamie McDonald today, and I think that'll be the disappointing thing for Terry.
Yeah, it'll be baffling for him, really, because if you think this is such a young Hearts team, we know the youth right throughout the side, they've had to deal with that all season long, and yet this is their third derby victory over Hibs.
Yeah, they seem to have a good record in the derbies, don't they? Right back even the cup win a couple of years ago, the 5-1 is what everybody always speaks about, but you can see the raw emotion in Guy Locke's face. It's been a tough spell for him. His side are marooned at the bottom of the table. He's been under pressure, people have been speaking about him, talking about his job. Is he going to be in a job, is he going to be out of a job? It's been tough for him, so a lot of relief for him, but Terry overall will be hugely frustrated.
Yeah, you could actually sense the emotion from Gary today, because I guess the build up to these derbies must be quite brutal during the week, particularly the scenario that you didn't even know was going to emerge until St Mirren got the point yesterday, Dan.
Of course, he's a Jambo anyway, so if he wasn't the Hearts manager, he would probably be here supporting the team, but he must be enormously proud of his players today. Young kids who gave everything, and when you give that, sometimes you get the rewards, and they've got it today.
They did give him absolutely everything.
Yeah, they worked ever so hard there. But you look at Hibs, they look so low in confidence just now. I think it's 1 win in 13 games, so they're in trouble, and they have to find a way to try and get out of it.
Okay, gentlemen, we are out of time. Let me tell you, just to come up, next game already started, Mönchengladbach against Hamburg from the Bundesliga. Hope you enjoy that. Well, Hearts might be going down, but they weren't going to allow Hibs to send them packing. See you soon.